All right, everyone. Good evening. How are you all doing? So, I'm coming to a realization. My mother is a sadist. My mother is a monster behind her mask. It's quite obvious. She was torturing me. My mother will say things that have metaphorical. It just doesn't even fucking matter. Basically, I think I hate my parents, my mother, my stepfather, and my father. Oh, well, maybe I don't hate my parents. I don't know. They're just really not empathetic with me. They're just not really empathetic with me at all. I'm obviously suffering and they just yell and scream and fight with me, you know? And I can't take their abuse. I just can't take their abuse. I'm at my wit's end and they're screaming at me, telling me what a burden and how I'm the bane of their fucking existence. I'm basically like a dog that's been beaten for his whole life, metaphorically, and they just continue to yell and yell and yell and yell at me, and I'm at my wit's end, really. I just can't take getting beaten anymore verbally. Miru says, "Good evening, Anne. Are you referring to Anne Frank, or are you referring to Annie, the Hard Knocks Life? Which Anne are you referring to?" If you're referring to Anne Frank, I could read the Anne Frank. Although when my mother called me Anne, short for Andrew, when my mother called me Anne, short for Andrew, she was really calling me Anne Frank, wasn't she? Although I'm aware of what I lived through pales in comparison to the Holocaust. However, it's not predicate logic and ideas of reference. She knew exactly what she was saying. She was making an Anne Frank joke about the suffering I was living through. Even if my mom was calling me Anne Frank, the name Otto Greenberg, Green Bunny, comes from Otto Warmbier. So don't think too much about it. It's an insensitive joke, assuming it's not delusional, but it doesn't mean I lived through the Holocaust and she's Adolf Hitler. Let's call a spade a spade. Was the pharmacological abuse premeditated, and was it because of, you know, well, you know, were they sabotaging me but creating a facade they were helping? Was I like Owen Hart, or am I having an emotional tsunami and everyone had good intentions? Dr. Garrett said, "Andrew, the session we had on Thursday seems to have made little lasting impression on you. On the one hand, you know, you continue to shift back and forth between reality and daydream, almost like you are flipping a toggle switch on and off, on and off, on and off, hour by hour, day by day, year after year. Why is it so frightening to stay grounded in the ordinary world where other people live?" Dr. G. I said, "Interestingly enough, when I was writing this email, I was engaging with a woman. For example, we were watching a stand up comedy performance when a comedian said something unrelated to me. It triggered ideas of reference delusions. I had an emotional tsunami and I sent an email. Even when around a woman, I want to be in my social media fantasy world. Maybe I should leave my phone at home or in the car when I'm in public." Somebody says emotional tsunami um, would be a sick band name. Hard Knocks, the Andrew Koloski story. It's the Hard Knocks life for me. It's the Hard Knocks life for me. Instead of treated, I get tricked. Instead of kisses, I get kicked. It's the Hard Knocks life. Hard Knocks, the Andrew Koloski story. Yeah, I should share. So he says maybe I can move in with Deborah. Yeah, just go to bed. Take a Xanax and go to bed. I took a Xanax yesterday. Oh no, I didn't take a Xanax yesterday. 2 days ago, I took a Xanax. I feel like I'm about to go insane. I feel like I'm about to have a nervous breakdown. And it's because my parents don't love me. They aren't empathetic with me, man. They aren't showing me any love, warmth, or affection. They're just fucking yelling at me and telling me what a loser and burden I am. They're not giving me hugs. They're not giving me anything. And I think they're doing it sadistically. They're just not hugging me. They're just abusing me. They're withholding love from me to be sadistic. I think my parents are withholding love for me to be sadistic. Yeah, just go to sleep. Maybe tomorrow won't be so bad, I guess. I think my mother's a sadistic monster behind her mask. So I sent this email today. Basically, I said, did my parents conspire and gaslight me into having, pharmacologically abusing me and, forcing me to take a mega regimen of medications? It's obvious they did. I protest, tell me the truth. But it's an emotional tsunami. They have told me the truth. I just don't believe it. I think they had nefarious intentions. But, what are you going to do? Rusty says you should play the game. So I guess some people want to know if I had a conversation with the relative who's been, at the house for the past week. She's leaving Monday, and I haven't even had a moment alone with her to have a conversation. I hope I get the chance tomorrow, but if I don't, I guess there's just never the opportunity. It's almost like my mom is getting in between us and my stepfather is getting in between us and not letting us engage. I mean, but then again, it's kind of a wild household and people have families and stuff. So maybe the opportunity just never will present itself. Um, I mean, I obviously want to have a conversation and discuss things, but it might not actually happen. And that's okay, I guess. My mother is just like getting in between us. My stepfather is getting in between us. The house is wild, and I just sit in solitary confinement. That's basically what the week has been. So I was excited that it might be fun, but it didn't actually. It didn't. Guests at the house didn't actually turn out to be that fun, to be honest. I never saw that show, Rusty. What happens about that show? Somebody says I'm having Joe Biden moments. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm having Joe Biden moments, Miru? Do you think I behave like I have dementia? Do I behave as though I have neurological damage and am a vegetable mind? Rusty says I paused, then went off track. Yeah, man, I sit in solitary confinement day after day for years now. I really need somebody to socially engage with me and to love me. Pete says he loves me. I love you too, Pete. I love you too, Pete. Miru says I tried reading the word somebody sent and went off on a tangent. Okay, fair enough, Miru. Fair enough. It's the Hard Knocks life for me. It's the Hard Knocks life for me. Instead of treated, I get tricked. Instead of kisses, I get kicked. It's just becoming increasingly obvious. My mother's nasty. Excuse my French, but she's a bitch. She's torturing me. She's a sadist. She likes seeing me in pain. She likes isolating me in solitary confinement. It's just obvious. My mother is torturing me. It's just fucking obvious. I know they say she's not, but she is. Somebody says, no one is torturing you but me. Well, somebody says, you self-sabotage. Well, my mother doesn't have me at gunpoint in solitary confinement, but I feel as though she gets pleasure from my suffering, and she'll say things, oh, do you want to lay out back with us and veg? It's like, why are you saying fucking veg? Or like, you want vegetables for dinner? She knows exactly what she's saying. What she's saying is she's calling me a vegetable mind. There's a, and if you confront her and say it's not predicate logic, you know exactly what she's saying. She'll say, no, you're delusional. Or she'll say, do you want to border Chinese food? She knows she's trying to say I have borderline personality. She's trying to trigger me. She's trying to trigger an emotional response. She's a bitch. My mother knows exactly what she's doing, and then she gaslights me. She says things that have double meanings. It's kind of like the Nazi example. She knows she's saying Nazi. She's calling herself a fucking Nazi. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's gaslighting me. It's not ideas of reference. I know Rusty says I'm having ideas of reference. It's not ideas of reference. She knows exactly what she's saying. She knows exactly what she's doing. It's not predicate logic. It's not ideas of reference. Mirror says that my life is the way it is, partially from mental illness, but from deliberate choices I have made. Rusty says, dude, come on. It's your mom's house. They've been providing for you for 37 years. That's a good point, Rusty. Nero says, your parents have gone above and beyond to help you. Uh, Rusty says, I'll give credit to Miru today. She's being real with you. Rusty says, I've been in a crisis for days. Miru says, I think I'm jealous of the relative at the house and the attention she's getting. I don't know if that's true. I very much would love to have a conversation with the relative. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Like, I wanted to go to comedy, but it just didn't happen. And it's okay. Miru says, yes, this is what's happening. You're acting out to get attention like a toddler. All right, fair enough, Miru. Miru says, I'm acting out to get attention like a toddler because I'm jealous another relative is getting more attention than me. Miru says, you've said in the past you act crazier than you are. I think you know what you're doing. It's not. I mean, maybe subconsciously I'm doing this, but I'm not making a conscious choice to do it. I don't think. Assuming what you say is true. Miru's got to go. All right, see you later, Miru. Let's crack open a seltzer water. Hey, Rusty, how you doing? Rusty asks, he says, sometimes, dude, I wonder if you're trolling me when we talk. No, I'm not really trolling you. Why do you say that, though? Why do you think I'm trolling you? Give me an example. I mean, I'm being sincere and real with you. You're one of my number one androids, for sure. It's the hard knocks life for me. It's the hard knocks life for me. Instead of treated. You know, Rusty says it's just hard to believe sometimes you don't want to get better. Obviously, I don't live your life and have your feelings. And Rusty, you think in order to get better, I need stronger medication? What is your impression here? It's the hard knocks life for me. Do you guys think I should get like thigh high socks? Maybe not. Maybe that's for women. I'm looking at a social media model with thigh high socks, and she's obviously a woman. But I want to get like really high socks. But I don't think women find guys in socks sexy. They probably say, "Oh, the socks smell," and it's not really that sexy. I mean, I guess some women like men in socks, but I don't know. I don't know if guys in socks are sexy. Like if you saw guys in thigh high socks, you probably say, "Oh, the socks probably smell." It's not sexy. The objectification of men. The objectification of men. Like picture me having socks going up to my. These are my socks, by the way. I'll show you my socks. I guess some women like guys in socks. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna get going. I don't know. I'm kind of down, but I think it's gonna get better. I mean, all right, guys. Adios, amigos and amigas. Peace out.